double gold at brown belt Nogi Euro and IBJJF world champion at purple belt. So you got to assume Injana is #1 seed to win this Grand Prix here tonight.
We've seen lots of heavy passing from
Nice
Injana.
wrestling from Victoria, but straight onto the back almost from Injana.
Great job of Victoria getting to top position early here.
Injana's another one of those athletes that's incredibly long
I
for
was,
her division.
has those legs wrapped around
Incredibly
Victoria, yeah.
We are used to seeing Injana normally looking to play top position, heavy passing pressure. We've seen her on Enyo a few times already.
I think that this is honestly a good place for Injana to start
Looking
doing
for a
other
mirror lock
things.
here.
Yeah. Very nice
I
positioning.
mean, really committing to this. I wonder,
Yeah.
you know, with someone of the experience of Injana, when they go for something like this that looks like it shouldn't work, but they're going for it, you're
Yeah,
like,
you know
well,
that
what,
they've got a trick up
what
their
do you
sleeve,
know
right?
that we don't, right?
I think if she goes to the double unders here and body locks,
She'll release and try and take
Yeah.
down off of it.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what we're seeing. Hook. I don't even think she's going to
The
fish for that
overhook's
second.
fine.
Or she
Yeah.
might drop down to catch the, you know, around the knees and
Yeah, the
sweep
knees
off
are
of that.
close together there.
Yeah.
And the answer is she does neither.
Well, I've trained with Indy a handful of times. The one thing I've always found about her is that she's incredibly methodical. She's not going to jump on something she doesn't think is there. So if she goes to the legs, she thinks
Yeah.
it's there.
Although I think what Injana could have done was drop down like at her pace. I think she allowed Victoria to open the guard there,
Yeah, I agree.
and then she was kind of on the back foot, but now she's managed to get on top. And
Well, Victoria conceding top position in order to try and fish for a leg here. She's
But
got
the
a
foot is hidden.
She's
There's
got a
no
very
way.
narrow grip on the inside of the leg here, and it doesn't look... I mean, this is what we've seen from Injana in the past. She likes the heavy pressure. I mean, Victoria really stubborn on this leg here.
Yeah,
She's-
if Indy can like get close and smash down here, it's going to be really hard for Victoria to lift her hips, which is what she wants to do to enter into those leg entanglements. And now Indy's stretching the body, which is going to make it even harder to lift the hips. And that was a very, very heavy crossface that just came on there. Victoria needs to keep her arms in, but you can see Indy's just climbing her way up the body.
Victoria's, she momentarily had a butterfly hook there,
Yeah.
but she moved back. She obviously felt Injana's knee coming through a little bit too much and decided to move down.
We were talking about Indy's length, and this really helps. She's able to clamp the head and then move her legs around to make counter pressures really effectively, and it helps her being as long as she is.
Yeah. So she's going to pass over to the side control here.
And this is what we were talking about a few times, Chelsea. You were saying in those prelim matches, a lot of the girls stuck in that three-quarter mount
Yeah,
position were
this
looking
is
to try and
much
pass
stronger.
the mount, whereas you really prefer to pass with a knee slice.
Yes.
And that's what we're seeing from Injana now, and it does look like it's, I was going to say, about to work. There it
Yeah.
is.
For
into side
this
control.
reason, it's
Yeah.
unforgiving, it's heavy.
And then tries to pass straight over into mount, gets caught in a very, very shallow three-quarter, and then and sustained a stronger position here.
That's actually not a bad thing either for her here, because now Victoria's locked herself into this position and her hips are locked turned to that side, and she can't turn back to take the pressure off the head and arm position here. Now Indy's able to just kind of like blanket down on top of her with heavy hips.
And Injana passes into a strong mount position.
Yeah, immediately Victoria brought her elbows down against the hip as much as she could, which is exactly the right thing to do. But when somebody is this heavy and flat on top of you, it's really, really hard to make any space to get out. Trying to trap the foot underneath.
High underhook there for Injana.
Injana's just stuck to her, but Victoria did a
Really
very
nice
good job
escape.
of
Really nice
making
escape.
space there.
Choosing not to wrestle up there was 100% the right decision.
And also, look, we do have to remember, I'll remind us yet again, the rule set for Enyo favors submission attempts above positional dominance. That means if there is one legitimate submission attempt, it negates essentially all top dominant positions. Now, we haven't seen a submission attempt really from either athlete so far, but just, you know, Injana's style is such a smothering, positional dominance style that Victoria can still take this if she's able to get a good submission attempt. And that's something that, as the audience watching, needs to be looking out for and understanding. And, of course, the athletes need to be thinking about as well.
What beautiful leg work. Really nice leg work. Stepping over that guard, jumping straight to the other side. And it looks now like Indy has a entry on an arm here. Whether or not Victoria's going to get her knee in is another... Oh, nice escape.
Now Victoria on top here.
Now it's a battle of who's going to be better on the legs.
That looked like to me that Victoria went for an armbar. Injana countered with her own armbar and then ended up in this leg entanglement.
Yeah, it could have been also an attempt on the Kimura reversal like we saw earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But Indy could hit an armbar here with that arm on the floor. It's so tempting, isn't it, Vanessa? Vanessa's practically itching. I think this is not doing either of these ladies any favors, I don't think. I think that both of them need to leave the 50-50 to find any success in this match. I don't think this is a game either of them want to play. They don't seem excited about it. No. Although Indy does look like she's fishing a heel hook out here.
Inside heel hook. Attempt there a little bit. Heel slips out.
Made of rubber.
Yeah.
So.
And this is the problem when it comes to scoring submission attempts so highly when you have leg locks, especially on leg locks on people that just like, it's going to be almost impossible to submit them from there.
Yeah. I'd like to see Indy drive forward here. She could get up on top. Actually, honestly, either of them could get on top. But sitting in 50-50, I don't think is going to help either of them progress towards the win here. So we'll see who breaks first and decides to quit playing 50-50 and stand up.
Do we have a stalling rule? When might the referee stand these girls up? I think?
That's a good question. I'm not sure if we have a stand-up stalling rule.
I don't think either of them is going to actually start stalling, so hopefully we don't have to find out about the stalling rule.
Yeah, it's hard to, with this, there's so much, but at the very least, even if there's not a lot going on, there's the potential for a lot of technical intricacies here to a point where you can't really accuse anyone of quote-unquote stalling.
Yeah, both of them are trying to progress the position. I just don't think this is a way that either of them are... Oh, nice entry. There we go.
Now that I would call the first legitimate submission attempt, even for a second there.
To get a hand up, one of them has to escape their knee, but right now both of their knees are trapped.
Straight ankle lock attempt here from Victoria.
I'd say that's also a
I would agree with you.
But now Indy's coming towards the back. Oh, she has to be careful of her knee here. But
and again,
with that
pressure.
heavy pressure's coming back in.
Jana's going to start pushing her knee back, yeah.
Looks like Indy's hunting another submission attempt here, maybe to tie up the count. Or to come out ahead in the count.
Saddle position here. I think she was reaching over for that far leg.
Yeah, Victoria has to be careful. Her knee is very exposed. To lateral knee bars, to the heel hook, to...
Yeah. Injana trying to get the bite on the heel, but not quite managing it.
I think the knee needs to be slightly more bent to get the submission to come on.
Yeah.
Good heel hook defense from Victoria there. Just putting on a boot, making her legs straight, not allowing the rotation. Does a lot to slow the heel hook down at the very least. I'd say that they both have a legitimate sub attempt here. We've got 10 seconds left.
Okay, if Injana can just pull this leg down and get on top.
I think she should spend the last few seconds hunting one more submission.
Yeah. This is going to be
A very close match
tough one.
there.
Yeah.
Isla.
Under other rule sets, maybe not so close, but under this one,
Yeah.
it's a tough one.
Sorry, not Isla. Victoria. Victoria there giving a really good impression of herself against a very, very accomplished grappler. You got to assume that Injana has taken that. Not a huge amount of submission attempts. Both submission attempts, I would count 2 really there. Both coming on the legs, but the positional dominance from Injana in the first half is probably, I assume, is going to take that. But it's not up to me. It's up to our judges, and we're going to hear the results right now.
And your winner by judges' decision. From the red corner, it's Injana Goodman.